everybody, Rachel here with Real in Real Estate, and I'm so excited because I have Danielle, my fabulous partner, over here. We just wanted to jump on, a little informal, give a few market stat updates, talk a little bit about what's happening in the real estate market. I have been gone for a while. I don't think I've done a show in a little bit. The last show we did was with the attorney talking about COVID things, and then I just got slammed. I've been so busy with real estate, with kids, with everything behind the scenes, as you know. So we're playing a little bit of catch up. So here we are. I was waiting for the Maryland Association of Realtors to publish their latest statistics. However, they're a little bit slow with their April stats. So I decided to switch it up a little bit, and we're going to just do two different counties because I really wanted to compare the difference between last year in April and this year in April. So I was able to pull the two different counties that we have, which is going to be Frederick County and Montgomery County. And then I figured we'd also talk about a few questions, 5 different questions that, that sellers have.
About selling your house during the coronavirus outbreak. And if it's still possible, and what you can do to stay safe while you're selling your home during this time.
Staying safe, because people are still selling, which our statistics are going to show us. So I'm going to go ahead and switch screens so you guys can see what's happening. All right, so for Frederick County, I thought it was very interesting that April of 2020, which again, height of the COVID-19 and everything the pandemic was displaying, was on height during that month. And as you can see, in April 2019, there was a sold dollar volume of 116,302,978, so 116 million, whereas this past year we still trumped it, guys. We still trumped it at 135 million plus. So I think that was kind of what we in the real estate industry were kind of waiting for, to see what those stats were going to be like. May is going to be interesting as well, but this market in the real estate is very much on fire, and so this is just proving that. You know, we were waiting for the stats to come out to prove it. Let's go back again and take a look at the average sold price. You see that it went up from 350 to 384, so that went up a little over 10%. Median went up a little over 10%. Units sold just barely went up. Average days on market went down. Average list price for solds went up. Average sales price to average list price ratio is still looking good. I mean, everything is just checking all the boxes that, you know, the facts are pretty prevalent. There's still very low inventory, especially for the spring market. And, you know, there's buyers out there that are buying. Most of my buyers, I think all the buyers that I've been working with recently, all of them, I think we've been in multiple offer situations. It's just on fire. It's just tight. You have to get creative. You have to be serious. You have to have your act together, have your financing together. But it has been just an awesome market here in Maryland. For those of you viewers across the country, I think there's some things that are the same. I'll have to look at the national statistics. I did try and check out NAR earlier this morning to get an update, but their stats weren't up yet either. So I just found that to be very interesting. And then here's some more details, guys. I can attach this again in a link down below, so you'll be able to see this. Our current active listings are going to be, what were active is 702, as opposed to April of 2019, 1,056. So again, no inventory. We are really struggling, and there are buyers out there ready to get it done. So there's that. So again, if you're thinking about selling your home, I just listed one last Saturday. Within a few hours, it was under contract, and we're talking at a 600 price point, 600,000 price point. So I mean, all price spectrums, it's just they're rolling. So let's also show Montgomery County. So that was Frederick. Now let's pop on and show some Montgomery County stats as well, so you guys can see that. Here we are. Now, of course, Montgomery County likes to show everybody up with what they're doing. So here, I'm just going to jump down to the inventory comparison. Last year in May of 2019, there was almost 5,000. This year, there's a hair under 2,000. I'm just in tears over it. We need more inventory. You know, we need to do. And the thing is that there's a lot of new construction. So there's places for sellers to go. There's stuff happening. Houses are being built. But, you know, they're only making so much of it. And again, it's a supply and demand. When you have buyers that are ready and demanding to find these houses, ready, willing, and able, but there's just not a big enough supply. I'm going to keep saying it. Same song and dance. That is the issues that we've been facing. I did not pull Carroll or Howard County, but I can do that when finally, if I can get Maryland to publish their stats, and we can go over all that the next time. I just kind of wanted to jump on and say hi to everybody because I miss everyone. I've just been so crazy busy. And of course, Danielle's here hanging out. So she's going to go ahead and read us our questions that sellers might have. And I'll do my best to answer.
Yeah, so first and main question, should I try and sell my home during this time? You know, obviously real estate is an in-person thing. People have to come through your home. They might be like opening doors and touching things. What's the safest way during this time to still sell your home and want to bring people to your property?
I touch everything too. I do. I want to like look at all the nooks and crannies. I have like my little system of like being scrupulous with each house. You know what? Yes, we are still doing it. We definitely have some restrictions set in place. For showings that I'm doing tonight, the list agent requested that we fill out a form asking about if we've had any symptoms, if we've been around anybody that's been diagnosed with COVID, things like that. So we have to do a checklist, fill it out, sign it. Then we always have to wear masks, gloves, shoe covers. They ask, most sellers now are just leaving the lights on, right? So they'll leave lights on knowing that there's going to be a day packed full of showings so that we as agents don't have to go in and turn the lights on and off. Things like that. It's really breaking it down. Is it safe to sell your home right now? That's going to be a family question. You know, guys, it's always going to come back as to what's best for you and your family. However, people are doing it and they're selling, they're going like hotcakes. If you're a seller, sell. Bloody sell. It's just an insane market. All of my listings are going at list or over. It's just been a phenomenal market. It's so odd, but people are selling and they're doing it by protecting themselves with making sure that their agent is familiar with restrictions and guidelines, CDC guidelines with the whole mask and gloves. And we're also only allowed to have 2 people, our buyers in at a time. Makes it a little bit difficult with when you want to show your family. Arrangements can be made. However, for just initial showings, you want to respect those restrictions. What else have we been doing that's been different?
Some people I've seen are doing virtual tours.
Well, all the virtual stuff. Yeah, that was pretty prevalent before, and I think this whole COVID thing just kicked it up a notch. So we're doing those. I'll go in. I'm just very hands-on, a people person, so it's kind of a turn-off to me if I can't. Am I capable of doing it? Absolutely. But I want to get in there. I want to be with my clients. I want to see what they're seeing. I want them to see what I'm seeing. I want to explain things. So if clients are on that same page, hey, we'll wait. We'll do it until we can do it that way. But yeah, we're doing virtual. Everything's virtual. Yeah. And just being very aware, very clean. No open houses, virtual open houses. I'm not personally doing any right now just because, you know, you see it says open, people stop in, it's just going to be clustered. Now, you can do them by appointment only. A lot of my awesome rockstar agent buddies are doing that, which is stellar. I'm still thinking on it. I want to get the house sold, but I also want to do it in a way where I'm not taking too much risk, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think again, it's just going to pertain to the family circumstances and what they want to do.
Obviously, if you're a high-risk health person, like
yes, because you don't know. You don't
know.
Yeah.
So if you're a buyer and you're interested in seeing homes, maybe don't go. Maybe send your spouse or a family member.
Yes.
You know, just as if you were to go to a store, it pertains to walking in someone else's home.
It's just so odd right now. It's just so odd. But all right, what's number 2?
Kind of the same thing. Is it safe to have people go through my home? Which I feel like we just covered.
Yeah, we just covered that.
Safe? So then the third question is, what can I do to protect my family during showings? What are the actual steps? And some of the things that they have here are taking precautions. Keep hand sanitizer at the front door to offer for them. If there's a guest bathroom, keep disposable hand towels and soap for guests to use. Maybe not like a cloth towel. Yeah,
there's like little welcome kits we've been doing with the shoe coverings, with the hand sanitizer, with the mask. It's like a whole little, next we'll just do suits. It's a whole system that is there for your disposal. And I think, you know, these agents, other agents, they're educating their clients of the seriousness of it, making sure that they're on par and doing things the right way as well. And then as a seller, just disinfecting your house and,
Yeah.
and limiting, the showing service is only allowing agents in one group at a time, which makes things very, very difficult on the showing side as a showing agent. However, gotta do what you gotta do, keep people safe. So everyone's really stepped up their game.
Yeah, they have here limit the showing days and hours so
Yep.
we can properly clean in between, and also so that we don't have too many people at one time. Offer disposable gloves with trash cans for people to use on their way out.
Yes.
Have cleaning wipes handy and request that agents wipe down the surfaces, door handles, banisters, anything that you're touching, just wipe down after yourself.
Wipe it down, yeah. Or just don't touch it.
Yeah.
I'm one of those, it's like, I already know I'm going to screw up anyway, so let me just
so
not touch it.
Offering the proper supplies and just cleaning up after yourself.
Yeah, it's really cool how we've all kind of just stepped up and we're like, all right, this is what we got to do. We're going to do these kits. We're going to do everything right there at the front door from the start. The showing service that most agents utilize, they've been right on par too, making sure that it's limited interaction. Agents aren't double showing, because typically that's what would happen is you book a time frame, and once it's approved, you can go in with multiple agents if they're there, or double book it, but now it's one agent per time slot.
Yeah.
Again, it can make things difficult, but it makes sense.
So the next one was, what happens if my buyer loses their job? Obviously, people are going to go into, especially with the way the inventory is now.
Yeah.
They're going into it being pre-qualified, ready to make their offer because it's going so fast. So, normally you'd have a contingency in place, right?
Yeah, you always are going to have a financing contingency regardless. Unless you're cash, then typically you're going to have an appraisal contingency that's in there or some other type of contingency that's financially going to protect you. I have experienced firsthand before this all kind of came out in March, had multiple clients that were utilizing a loan product that doesn't exist now because restrictions on financing have come into play. There's been certain circumstances where we needed to get an extension. Well, hey, guess what? You can't extend that loan product anymore because it just isn't on the market. There aren't investors buying it up. We'll probably have a lender on again just to touch base on what's going on all over again. But at that point, guess what? That deal fell through, unfortunately, because the loan product wasn't there. And to switch into another loan product, sellers may not want to wait. So there are contingencies in play. But guys, it's really going to take it back to the basics of anything in real estate is going to be a risk. Ultimately, you want to minimize those risks to the best of your ability, but still keeping in mind that when you're buying and selling and transferring real estate, there's still risks that are associated with that. So it's just going to be making sure that the agents work together for whatever buyer is buying that property to make sure that they're doing a scrupulous review with their lender, that they are pre-approved, ready to go, get the background, figure out what their jobs are. I mean, it's going to boil down to that because the last thing that you want is to get to the finish line. Let's say that seller has already found another property and then the buyer has, for some reason, something's happened. You want to try and minimize that by doing all your legwork up front. Hence the reason why we're so pushing on pre-qualifications and pre-approvals, but it's just staying the course and making sure things happen because things do happen. You can't control it, right? But again, it's all about minimizing those risks from the start.
Right. Okay. So last question, which I feel like doesn't really pertain to Corona. I feel like everyone has this question, right? Is the grass greener on the other side, kind of thing. So, question: will I get a higher price if I wait to list my home until after the coronavirus pandemic is over? Which no one has.
Do you have a crystal ball?
Right. No one has a magic.
Oh, let me run to my closet right quick, and I'll pull it out, and I'll be able to tell you.
Whether there's a pandemic or not, you're always gonna think, can I get more for my home? Can I get more for my home? But as we've been seeing, with inventory being slim to none, people are paying well above asking price right now. So
my parents just sold their place, and I love the buyers. We're so blessed with these buyers.
Yeah.
But they wanted it, and they knew what it was going to take to get it. There were multiple offers, and it sold for $30,000 over.
Wow.
Ask. Yeah.
I know someone.
I probably should have listed it higher, but
had a listing and 17 offers on one house.
Yes. Oh, I'm telling you, all my buyers, I'm like, guys, we're seeing appraisal contingencies being dropped. We're seeing inspection contingencies being dropped or minimized. You have to get creative where it's just not about numbers, but also about terms and figuring out what the seller ultimately wants other than just numbers and trying to cultivate a good offer to get in the door. I mean, really, that's
So to
it.
answer the question, will they get a better price if they wait to list their home? I'm going to say no.
I don't know. Right now, the market's hot. And really, we can only go off of the stats and the statistics and history of what we've seen and what's currently happening based on our experience. Again, nobody has a crystal ball. We can follow the trends and watch it. But if houses are selling the way that they are during a pandemic right now, I don't know what's going to happen when the floodgates officially completely open. So,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue that we're kind of encountering right now is the low inventory, and there's no way to really circumvent that because it is what it is. People just, may be afraid to sell, and I can understand that.
I think, for people who have kids, people are always moving around in the school year, right? And, they don't want to switch school districts, or they're waiting until summertime if they do have to move and switch school districts.
Now's the time
Well,
before.
now kids are not really in school, so
Yeah.
I feel like there's not that season so much right now happening.
We get an influx, because everybody wants to get in quick before the school year starts. Although I guess we'll see what happens with the school year this year. But no, just wanted to get on, talk a little bit about this, do a little bit more informal video for you guys, and say hi and let everyone know that we miss you. We would love to see any questions or comments that you have. I'll have to go back through and see it. And then I'll respond that way. And maybe just any type of video content that you guys are looking for. Again, we're going to do a recheck with the mortgage broker. I think in light of what's happening across our nation right now, I'm going to say this without tearing up. I get so emotional. I think it may be cool to maybe have Steven, our attorney, back on and talk about some things that could happen with the negative repercussions from the people that are behaving negatively across the country right now. And kind of get some insight on that. Deviate a little bit from the real estate thing. But any real estate stuff, questions that you guys have, I've got some new listings that are coming on. I'm going to be posting. I've closed a lot of stuff, a lot of contracts. I've been a busy bee. Yeah, so just trying to keep up with all of that. And I would love to do another video and give you guys some solid content. So if you have anything that you would love us to talk about, just let us know. In the meantime, you can find us here.
We'll be here.
Right? You can find us here, leave us a message, or you can give me a text at 301-956-3342. Send me an email, Rachel@rachelsmithrealtor.com. I would love to hear from you and answer any real estate questions that you have. In the meantime, take care, and we will see you on the next one. Bye. All right, now I have to hit my button.